What up, gang? This is KenZerk, KenZilligan, Zika Milligan, the Villain Trilligan, and we are back on Umineko no Nako Koro ni. Last episode, a lot of shit happened. I hardly even remember. It's been a minute since I last played. But I got my notebook back. All I remember from last time is that Beatrice said something about the love that she makes come true will fail in the end. She said something about that. This was also confirmed to take place before chapter 1 or episode 1, which in hindsight is pretty obvious, but considering how everything was, I was starting to kind of wonder if, like, you know, it was like a timeline sort of thing. You feel me? They all died and would show a different side of a different story and type shit, you know? What else? There was a witch's tea party, kind of. Beatrice and Battler was talking shit to each other, but I don't remember what they were talking about. And what else? Kanon rejected Jessica, and he got rid of Beatrice's charm, I'm pretty sure. Every year, the relatives visiting Rock and Jima would let out a sigh of admiration at the rose garden that first greeted them. They would stop there to chat about the rose's beauty and how well they were blooming that year. In the midst of all this, there was a single unhealthy rose, and Mario became overwhelmed with dejection at his condition. But George used his quick wits, and saying that everything would be fine if they took care of this poor thing, marked it with the candy wrapper and immediately restored Maria's good mood. Then Battler, with whom she'd been getting along well since that morning, started talking about Halloween! This was such a favorite topic of Maria that she began playing around energetically again. To Maria, that marshmallow jack-o'-lantern candy bought by her mother was probably the greatest sort of treasure. Oh yeah, and there was a very disturbing and just uncomfortable to watch scene last episode between Maria and her mother. It really reminded me of the final episodes of Evangelion. How it's just like, it's not exactly scary in a horror way, but it's like, oh my goodness. Like, what they're saying isn't wrong, they're spitting some real shit. This is really good. Like this is good shit, but like, fuck. This is just so uncomfortable to look at, you know? They seem to have bought several. And she demanded a trick or treat from every person she met, giving them candy instead of the other way around. What a dumbass. I wonder why Mario likes Halloween so much. I always figured it was a pretty unfamiliar event for the Japanese, my bad. Well, it's a kids' festival where they get to parade around in costumes, right? It can be fun to play around in an outfit that's different than usual. I think there's a slightly deeper cause behind it. After all, she is the witch, Maria-chan. Ugh, I said that. Come to think of it, when we were at the airport, didn't Maria say if she was gonna wear a costume and be a witch? Does she like witches? Yes, she loves them. So much that it becomes a problem. Hey, it's not so bad. You expect kids at that age to love fantastical stuff like that. If it was just a heroine on some TV anime, at least it'd be cute. Judging by Rose's appearance, she wasn't very happy about her daughter's love for witches as a mother. I kind of understand that, cause like, I don't know what time period this is, but I'm assuming it's an older time period. Witches are like considered evil, right? It's only like in modern day where admiring something that's considered evil is acceptable. Back then, you would have been called like satanic or a demon lover or some shit. You feel me? Like liking shit that was considered evil by the public, that wasn't going to fly back then. So I sort of understand it in the time period. Nowadays, I don't think anybody would actually give a fuck. They just understand that it isn't real. And that it's fictional and be like, oh, well, you know, that's what it is. It isn't fucking real, so who cares? The cousins other than Battler seemed to realize this, and they shrugged, wearing stiff smiles. Yeah, that smile looks very fucking stiff. Holy shit.
魔女好きだと
So you're arguing that because she likes witches, she also likes Halloween.
わかんなきゃ
If we don't know, why don't we just ask her?
おいマリア
Hey Maria,
ハロウィンと魔女って
how are Halloween and witches related? As Battler asked that, George and Jessica let out a stifled ah, as if they were trying to stop him, but too late. Maria might have been waiting for just that question. Well, shit. Fucking hell. I did kind of forget that this bitch had some evil ass faces. I mean, not bitch. She's a little girl. Don't call a little girl a bitch. After beaming for an instant, her expression turned just a little mean. Yeah, it's just a little mean. That isn't fucking evil or anything. It's just a little mean. As if to say, you're totally clueless, aren't you? It was the face of a hobbyist who's been ticked off by an outsider saying something stupid about their favorite subject. Music went off. To the Celts, the changing strength of the sun over the course of a year signified its birth, its growing up period, its aging and death, and then its revival.
納得だな
I get it.
春のか弱い
In spring, the weak, warm sun starts to grow up and get hot, and then it gradually gets weaker and worn out. So it makes sense to think of it as a sun living out an entire life. Yes. So they thought that at the end of October the sun died, was laid to rest in the land of the dead, and then revived at the winter solstice. And the name they gave to the last day of the year, when the sun ended its 1-year lifespan and died, was Samhain, and they celebrated then. It's an interesting idea to think that the sun is revived on the day of the winter solstice, when the daylight hours start to grow longer again. It's a case that makes it clear how much the ancients regarded the sun as sacred. I see. So, what does that have to do with witches? It seemed that my casual urging forward had slightly infuriated Maria. She glared at me with eyes that told me to shut the fuck up while she was explaining. Maria seemed to be having a blast as she talked, so I decided not to interrupt. In the interval between October and November, life and death become the closest they ever will. The Celts believe that Boston Celtics. The Celts believe that during this time, the world of the living grew closer to the world of the dead and otherworldly beings, and many of those living in the other world would come to visit. It was like the Bond Festival in Japan. Oh, that fuck-ass laugh. At the time, people believed that souls returning to the physical world would go into people's houses or possess people to do bad things. So in order to avoid harm, they performed rituals. One of those was to imitate creepy monsters and scare the souls back, which was apparently a way to avoid being possessed. That part became a festival, which turned into a costume parade. You really know a lot, don't you, Maria? Where the fuck did you come from? This nigga just popped out nowhere. Ain't it the truth? Even I never knew Halloween had such a history. But where did that whole trick-or-treat thing come from? Her knowledge was so extensive that the adults had suddenly started listening in too. Maria, who was normally treated like the youngest all the time, puffed out her chest with pride. Saying that this was just a kid's discussion, Rosa suggested that the adults go ahead and set their luggage down in the guest house. But nobody else agreed to go with her, and she let out a heavy sigh. Trick or treat is just for fun. It has nothing to do with what was originally a Celtic ceremony. That was created later when Christian customs were mixed in. However, I think it's right for Halloween to be that way. According to Maria, the souls of the dead weren't the only ones who visited from the non-human world. There were also spirits with intimate connections to people's everyday lives. Humans could receive favors from those spirits, so they'd manage to gain magnificent blessings, as well as a year's worth of good crops. So basically, Halloween was also a bit of a harvest festival. I get it. Now that you mention it, I guess October's a turning point in all kinds of ways, including with the seasons. That's when changing seasons.
日本の4月の
Sort
反対側だもんな。
Sort of the opposite as June in Japan. Yeah, that might be a good place to market. And also, the witches hold a witch assembly then called the Sabbath. The witches thank the spirits that give out blessings of prosperity and reward them. Isn't Sabbath, at least in... Shut up, nigga. At least in Christian faith, which is my faith, Sabbath I'm pretty sure is, well, Saturday, day of rest. The day of Sabbath, which is the day of rest. Yeah. It was the 7th day of the week, Saturday, when God decided, man, I done created the whole fucking universe and shit, let me take a rest. And yeah, Saturday is the 7th day of the week. The first day of the week is Sunday. It's the weekend, but technically it's the week beginning and the weekend. Monday to Friday is just the middle shits. Halloween costumes imitate the guests that come from the other side. In other words, you might say giving out candy is a way to show gratitude for the yearly harvest. Just like George says. So Halloween is a time where those two worlds intermingle. In other words, it's the most important chance for witches to intermingle with guests from that world. Is that what you're trying to say? Just like Battler says. And you know what? You know what? October is when the power of witches and demons is at its most vigorous and prosperous. Fuck, I hate that face. I'm sure Beatrice will come. And then we'll eat marshmallow candies together. And she'll bring me to the Golden Land with her. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. We'll sing magical songs together, learn magic spells together, learn how to draw magic circles together, and then we'll learn the secrets of runes and I'll become a great witch really, really quickly. And that's when Mom has to intervene. We're not fucking with no witches, nigga. Fucking Ava, this bitch. I like her, but I just hate the way that she acts with I just hate the way she acts with Natsuhi. It pisses me off. Natsuhi does not deserve that. My, isn't that wonderful? It's best for kids to have dreams. By the way, Rosa, how old will Maria be this year again? She's such a dickhead! You see how she's rubbing it in? She's just all she's doing is like just rubbing it into Rosa that she's she's a fucking old as shit still acting like this. That's all she's doing because she knows it bothers her. See, Ava, you about to get this little girl beat. You're about to get this little girl beat. You know what you're doing, you evil bitch. You're about to get her beat. You know she gets beat at home and you're doing it on purpose. Got a little passionate there. Maria, that's enough of that. Don't worry about it, Rosa. It's a dream all girls have at one time or another. Thank you very much. But Maria's already graduated from that age. Hey, I'm telling you to stop. Rosa scolded Maria, trying to shut her up before her cheery discussion about black magic earned her the snickers of the relatives. Oh, evil fuck. Oh. That sounds pretty detailed and impressive. By the way, who the fuck is Beatrice? I know I've heard that name somewhere before. Battler had been gone for 6 years and had completely forgotten about the legend of the Rockin' Witch. However, when he said he didn't know Beatrice's name, Maria's once bright mood soured in an instant. When he saw that, Battler immediately remembered that it was the name of the witch of this island, but the damage had been done. Until Maria's mood improved, she went on and on about many mysteries and fabulous episodes. We're on episode 2, regarding the Golden Witch. That's enough, Maria. Thank you, Battler, for letting her chat with you. Kanon, don't you have work to do?
もう行ってちょうだい。
Please, leave now.
ゴーダさん、
Goda, looks like everyone wants to set their bags down for the time
悪い
being.
んだけど。
Sorry, but could you guide everyone to the guest
か
house?
しら。
かしこまりました。
Certainly.
それでは皆様。
Well then, allow
ゲストハ
everyone...
ウスへご案
Fuck.
内いたし
Well
ます
then, everyone, allow me to guide you.
それでは
Then,
失礼いた
if
し
you
ま
will
す。
excuse me. Goda led the relatives and they began to head toward the guest house. They were eager to set down their luggage and take a breather, so they didn't realize that Rosa and Mario weren't coming with them. Damn, she finna get yoked up. After watching them leave towards the guest house, Rosa's face changed suddenly. She let go of the hand that had been gripping Mario the whole time. There was a bright red mark there, making it clear how much excessive force she had been using on Maria's slender arm. The hand then slapped against Maria's head, pinched her left ear and lifted. Damn.
魔女の話はするなといつも言ってる
Even
で
though
しょ。
I'm always telling you not to talk about
そ
witches.
れはママとの約束。
Haven't I always said that haven't I always said that was our promise together? You see what you did, Ava? You see what you did? You know what? It's official that I write this down. Ava is a bitch! Man, I'm fucking sick of her ass!
ハロウィン、ハロウィン、うるさいのよ、あんた
Oh,
は。
fucking hell. You really do like blabbering on about Halloween all the time, don't you?
魔女のお祭り
Festival for
ケル
witches?
ト人が何
Who
を
cares about the Celts, black magic, all that idiotic
あん
trash?
た9歳よ。
You're
9
9
歳
years old, 9!
であんなに騒ぐ
Because of that scene you made in the train, I went to all the trouble to making us stop and buying you those disgusting monster marshmallows that look like they have fluorescent paint on them!
遅刻してまであん
I went out of my way to buy it even though it made us late!
た。
How much more will you embarrass me before you're satisfied? Fuck. As Rosa cursed, she twisted Maria's ear up. Ew, shit, that probably hurt. Almost as though she was about to rip it off. An expression of anguish spread across Maria's face while she frantically stood on her tiptoes, trying to soften the pain in that ear. Rosa suddenly grabbed the candy that Maria had been holding. Damn. She threw it on the ground and stepped on it over and over. To Maria, it was supposed to be proof of a memory, of that brief span of time when her mother had bought something fun for her. But now that same mother was grinding it into the ground right in front of her. It was as though a brand had been pushed into Maria's eyes, leaving a mark that could never be erased.
こんな気持ち悪いお菓
What's
子
the deal with this disgusting candy?
ずるい
Disgusting! Fuck.
あんたが
It's because you're like that! It's all because you're like that!
気持ち悪い
Disgusting! As she said that, she struck Maria's head over and over again with her palm. Every time I see Rosa and Maria, like, all the fun that I have with the Ushiramiya family, it just goes away. Not Rosa specifically. It makes me, dislike the family in general. Because the reason Rosa is like this, clear and plain as day, the reason Rosa is like this, has all this pressure on her, and even does this shit to Maria in the first place, like all that psychotic mental shit, is because of the way that her siblings, as well as her father himself, Kenzo, the way that they all more or less mentally abuse her on a fucking day-to-day basis. Whether they try to or not, they do it. You know, and that's why she's so fucked up like this and takes it out on her own daughter. You know, not making excuses for Rosa, but at the same time, it may not excuse what she's doing. It definitely doesn't. But it gives an explanation and it gives insight into why she's like this. You know, whether it passes or not, it gives insight. And when I see this, when I see how Rosa is with Maria, It doesn't make me hate Rosa. It just makes me feel bad for Maria. And it makes me dislike the Ushiromiyas who practically torture her on a day-to-day basis. Or every time they talk, just fucking torture her, make her feel inferior, make her feel this, that, and the third. That leads to her feeling like this in the first place and doing shit like that. With all that being said, take Mario away from her. But yeah, the whole Ushiramiya family is just fucked. They're fun characters, but damn, these serious moments really just kind of drops you, like flips you onto your head. She didn't hit Maria's face. Of course not, that would leave a bruise. You can't let people see that. Because the red swelling would stand out, exactly. I'm a professional, I know these things. Maria closed her eyes tightly, patiently bearing her mother's violence. No, that wasn't quite it. Fuck, I hate when she says that! Fuck, that hurts. I don't like that. Come back, mama, save me, mama! Defeat the bad witch! Fuck. She kept bearing Rose's assault, muttering that over and over. You know what? That just made me think. If Maria, who knows so much about witches, is able to see Beatrice, communicate with her, and speak with Beatrice, she can see witches. If anybody would know that there's a witch there, it'd be Maria. So if Maria is saying that Rose is possessed by a witch, does that mean there's a good chance that, like, when Rosa does things like this, that she is actually being possessed by a witch? Or she's like being in some way amplified or controlled by a witch? You know, like, rather than just a witch entering her body and saying, "Ha, I'm beating your daughter, bitch." It's more like Rosa wants to slap the shit out of Maria, but she's like, "No, I can't hit my daughter." And then the witch is like, "Oh, abracadabra, amplify your abusive feelings." And then she's like, "I don't want to hit my daughter, but the magic's making me do it." Is it something like that, maybe? Could it be? You know? Once again, not trying to excuse her, but it's just an idea, because if anybody would, like, if this were to come from any sort of foreshadow, it would be Maria, because she's the only one here besides maybe Kenzo who actually knows about the witches. The servants too, but they don't say shit, you know? Didn't I, ouch, tell you to stop talking about witches? Why you! Rosa, tired from hitting her daughter, breathed so hard her shoulders shook. Maria grasped her hands together, withstanding it, hoping her mother would return soon. Come back quickly. Save me, mama. Beat the bad witch. Fine. Just stay there like that forever. Just stand there mumbling about witches and Halloween forever. After hurling those words at Maria, Rosa left in the direction of the guest house, leaving Maria behind. Damn. Maria, forgetting even that it was okay to cry, kept staring down at the jack-o'-lantern candy that had been trampled beyond recognition. Another thing I just thought about. Rather than it actually being a witch, what if it's a coping mechanism for Maria? Right? She has an interest in witches and all of that shit. So whenever her mother, who is doing terrible things to her, whenever her mother does terrible things to her, she doesn't want to actually believe it's her mother because... Fucking hell. Alright, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. Now, what if, rather than it being an actual witch, it's a coping mechanism, right? So, Maria, who has a very extensive knowledge in witches, right? Because that's like the first thing in her mind. When her mother does bad things to her, she doesn't want to actually believe that it's her mother doing it because she loves her mother so much. She wants to draw sort of a line between her mother and her mother when she's, you know, hitting her. She wants to draw a line between that. Because think about it, if you know that that is your mother that's hitting you all the time, you're going to feel uncomfortable around your mother. You're going to start feeling more negative emotions towards her, right? So instead of accepting... Fuck! Hello? Now, back to where I was before I was fucking interrupted again. Holy shit. The worst time for me to get interruptions while I'm trying to think and theorize. Now, if your mother was doing shit like beating the fuck out of you whenever you talked about your interests and just traumatizing you every damn day, you'd want to draw a line between your mother, who's always sweet, kind, and polite, and the mother that literally abuses you. You'd want to draw a line between them, especially when you're an innocent child who genuinely cannot believe in your mind that your mother, who hugs, kisses, holds, and coddles you, would actually turn their hand and slap the shit out of you. You feel me? So for Maria, she's just making up a convenient excuse that it isn't actually her mom who's doing that. It's a witch in the form of her mom. So she's basically tricking herself that every single time her mom beats the shit out of her, it's not her mom anymore. It's a witch that's taking her place. And when her mom's being nice, it's her mom again. So that also could be a thing. And I'm kind of thinking that's more likely. You feel me? That's more likely, and that's more realistic as well. The show, of course, the game has actual witches, so it would be cool if she was possessed by a witch. It'd be interesting. But I feel like meaning-wise and like, you know, meaning-wise, character-wise, story-wise, all of that, it would be a lot more touching and heartfelt and all of that if it was what I just said. Let's get back to it. That's depressing to think about, though. There goes the fucking devil. That's a witch right there. Holy shit. Oh, Rosa. Where were you? I'm sorry. The roses were so wonderful. Rosa, set your luggage down quickly and come with us. We're gonna go say hi to Aniki. What happened to Maria? Is she still by the flower beds? Yeah. It seems she found a rose she likes and insisted she take care of it, refusing to listen. I decided to let her do what she wants for a while. Damn, she's quick with the lies. We sometimes forget that girls have their own little world. Sometimes we have to respect that, right? That's right. Thanks for your concern, Kyrie. Lion ass. You ain't respecting shit, Rosa. Where's our room? I will guide you. Bitch ass nigga, don't fucking talk while I'm talking. Ugly ass. I will guide you this way. That's not his voice. Allow me to hold your luggage. I'll be fine. I can carry it myself, thank you. She does not like him at all. Fuck. She does not like Goda at all. She's got a problem with him. Rosa went into her room, guided by Goda. She then closed the door somewhat violently and threw her luggage on top of the bed. She got down on her knees in front of the bed, burying her face in it. For a while, Rosa made as if to shred the sheets with her fingernails, sobbing constantly. Are you alright? Kanan appeared from behind a thicket after watching Rosa leave. I'm fine. Maria gave a creepy laugh, but to Kanan, who had seen the whole thing, it looked like she was enduring as best she could. She's a horrible
あれ
person.
で母親なんて
Can't believe she's a mother.
仕方ないよ
It can't be helped.
その程度の器
You
に
can't expect anything better than that to enter a container of that level.
マリアは全然
I'm just fine. What is the fuck does that mean? Kanan got down on his knees and picked up the trampled candy. It was tragic just looking at it. He thought about dusting it off and returning it to her, but really couldn't do so with it in that condition. Just as he was wondering what to do next, he met Maria's gaze. Now that wasn't quite right. Maria was looking at the candy Kanan had picked up. Right now, Maria's heart was surely the same as the candy that had been trampled into a pulp. Kanan realized this, but didn't know what he should do.
そうだ
That's right.
さっき僕
I'll exchange it for the one I received earlier. Kanan remembered that a similar candy he'd received from Maria was in his pocket. Maria stuck out her hand. Kanan thought she was trying to take it, so he held out the candy, but Maria didn't try to grasp it. Then Kanan realized she was saying, "Give it back." No matter how tragic and trampled it was, this candy was Maria's. Her mother had bought it for her. No matter how tragic, it had to be this candy and no other. If only it were intact enough that it could be fixed by dusting it off. Kanan hung his head.
僕には
Dusting it off is the most I can do.
ごめん
I'm sorry. Kanan held out the miserable looking candy Maria wanted. She took it and spoke.
ありがとう人間には
A human can't do anything except dust it off.
魔女には元
But a
通り
witch could
直
restore it to how it once
す
was.
ベアトリーチェなら
It would be easy for Beatrice.
マリア様ベアトリーチェ
You know about Beatrice.
様のことはご存知なのですか
Except for Battler, there was no way anyone related to the Ashiramiya family could have failed to know Beatrice's name. But just now, Maria had bragged about Beatrice to Battler. She had spoken almost as though she was meeting with Beatrice regularly. Kanan felt a sharp pain inside his left hand, which was curled into a fist. In the past, the witch called Beatrice appeared to tempt him and Shannon. He'd always tried to think of it as a bad dream. However, Shannon insisted that it was definitely a real witch. And then this summer, the shrine to the local Shinto god was hit by lightning, disappearing without a trace over the span of a single night. He knew about Shannon breaking that mirror, and he remembered that, as the witch departed, she said she'd eventually be revived. And now, this girl who I believed absolutely in Beatrice spoke as though she'd met Beatrice herself. Kanan couldn't suppress a vague sense of foreboding welling up in his heart. For a while, Maria remained silent as though she could see into Kanan's heart, almost as though she was waiting for a memory of Beatrice to be revived. And then she spoke as though it was a fact.
マリアはね
You know, I'm friends with Beatrice.
今日だって
I'm even gonna meet her today and play.
遊び
You're going to play?
うん
Yeah,
遊ぶよ
of course we'll play.
一緒にね
We're gonna study magic together. The face of that witch whom Kanan had tried to pretend was a bad dream began to slowly creep into the back of his mind.
お父様は研究で大変ご多忙と仰せです。
Father says he's extremely busy with his research.
残念ながら。
Unfortunately, it seems he'll be unable to come down.
やれやれ
Come on.
こちとら秋の
We put this conference on our schedules and come all the way out to Rockinjima during this crazy busy fall season. You'd think Dad could at least be a bit more sociable.
本当よね
Yeah, seriously.
南條先生
Dr.
本当
Nanjo,
に研究や
is it
記念
really
が
his
問題
research and his
なの
mood that are the problem?
ベッドから起き上が
He
る
isn't already
くらい
bedridden and able to get up, right?
って言うんじゃないの
さて
Well, I wonder.
私の口
There is not much I can say. Nanjo glanced at Natsuhi. and Sinbi thought it wasn't his place to speak without first getting Natsuhi's approval.
お父様はますますにご健康でいらっしゃいます。
Another fuck. Hello? Father's state of health? Fuck. Damn! All these fucking phone calls is throwing me off, bruh. Shit. It's pissing me off. Father's state of health is better than ever.
寝たきりなどと
It would be exceedingly rude to call him bedridden.
でも余命3ヶ月なん
But
で
he
しょ
only has 3 months left to live, right?
普通に考え
Normally, wouldn't you expect him to be wasted away, unable to get out of bed?
でしょ南條
Isn't
先
that
生
right, Dr. Nanjo?
波の患者ならそうでしょう
For a normal patient, that would probably be the case.
金蔵さんは
But Kenzo has extraordinary willpower. Y'all don't see how she's doing this shit on purpose, bro? Natsuhi's talking to her. Natsuhi is the one who's permitted. Natsuhi is the one who's only one who's permitted to give this information when asked. Only Natsuhi. But she's going out of her way to ignore Natsuhi and talk to Nanjo. She's doing this shit on purpose. Like, I'm really starting to fucking dislike Ava. And that's rare. I'm not a person that like plays games and shit like that and like actually dislike a character. Like, even in my other series, y'all see, I talk shit about characters, I say I hate them and shit like that. It's typically all jokes. You feel me? Like, I never actually hate a character. Persona 4, I didn't actually hate fucking Yosuke. Persona 3, I didn't actually hate Ryoji. Like, it was all jokes and shit. You feel me? Like, that's just how I am. I'm genuinely starting to fucking hate Ava. Perhaps that willpower has frightened even the Reaper away.
それほどまでにお元気
Well, if he's that energetic, then I guess we have little to worry about for the near future, right?
そこまで元気な
Oh, if he's got that much spunk, I wish he'd at least come and greet us.
親族会議ってのは
Isn't the whole point of this family conference to come and see Dad's face?
これじゃ
I'm not even sure why we came now.
そういうの
Don't say that.
いればいたで
If he were here, you'd complain the whole time about us being unable to relax.
兄弟一同
Shouldn't we celebrate the fact that all of us siblings have gathered this year to spend some time alone?
喜ぼうじゃん
昨年の親族会議でも会
We
えな
didn't
か
get
った
to see
の
him
よ
at last year's family conference either, right?
血を分けた子供
Can't
たち
you
が
understand why his blood children might want to see him after 2
どうして理
years?
解してもらえない
挨拶の言葉があるので
If
す
there's
から
anything you'd like to say in greeting, I will tell him for you.
それとも
Or Ava,
何かお父様
is there something you'd like to discuss with Father beyond merely greeting
られ
him?
るのですか
いやね
Come on, what are you talking about? Sheesh.
予算かエヴァ
Give it a rest, Ava.
夏井さん
Natsuhi, forgive us.
エヴァも娘
Ava's just worried about Father's condition as his daughter.
ちょいと気持ちを
Please try to understand how she feels.
その通り
Indeed.
エヴァは親父殿
Look how quickly you've grown to respect Father now that you know how much longer he has left to live.
なるほど
Yes, I believe I do understand why you want to see him so much.
何が言いたいの
What are you
よ
trying to say?
よせよ姉貴
Wait it, Aniki.
晩飯までには機嫌
Why don't we pray that his mood will improve by dinner?
それに俺たちは
Anyway,
到着
we've only just
まず
arrived.
は軽く挨拶
For now, we're only here for a casual
親
greeting.
族会議は
And we could even hold the family conference without Dad.
いや
In fact, there's a few things that siblings shouldn't bring to him until we form a unified opinion.
秀吉
Isn't that right, Hideyoshi?
そうや
Yep,
ルドルフ君
just as Rudolph says.
わしらが全員
This is the only time of year we can all meet in
貴重
person.
な時間を大
We've
事
got
に
to take this valuable time to seriously and be frank with each other. Even though the tea hadn't arrived yet, they were very determined.
でもその
But
前に
before that,
今
perhaps
回
we can
は素晴らしい
spare the time to enjoy some black tea at our leisure.
のんびりと紅茶を
surrounded by the
楽しみ
wonderful
に取り戻
furnishings
して
of the
もいいんじゃないか
parlor.
しら
Kyrie's words seem to contain a subtle I know what admonishing is. I can't fucking say it. Admonition directed at everyone gathered there. They all understood. And as they cleared their throats and straightened their neckties, the atmosphere in the room returned to normal for a time.
失礼します
Excuse me,
お茶をお持ちいた
I've
し
brought
ました
some tea.
よーし
Hey, Shannon!
ますます
You just keep getting prettier and prettier. Shannon entered the parlor, pushing the serving cart. Everyone decided to relax and enjoy some black tea for the time being. Fuck, you just said that! A wonderful aroma began to spread throughout the room. As far as anyone could see, the strained atmosphere from before Shannon's arrival seemed like a lie. Of course, Shannon, who was setting out the tea, probably didn't even notice. Kyrie seemed to laugh faintly at how adult everyone was suddenly acting. Rudolph didn't like it when Kyrie took the initiative and spoke at the family conference. It was his worthless male pride. Damn, call it out just as it is. He probably didn't want to look like a weak man who took advice from his wife. I feel like taking advice from the woman that you love just makes you look strong, makes you stronger. Even if you look weaker, I think it makes you stronger. I feel like a real weak man or woman, a weak person in general, is somebody who cares that much about how they look, honestly. Nigga, you know what you are. If you know you strong, then why are you worried about looking weak? You know you strong, nigga. She understood that and did her best to refrain from saying any more than was necessary. She's a sweetheart. So she separated herself from the circle of siblings, who only superficially appeared to be enjoying some time together alone, and casually drank her tea near the window.
あら、ローザさん。
Oh, Rosa.
兄弟で水入らず。
I thought you siblings were enjoying some alone time.
ご冗談を
You must be joking.
ごめんなさい。
Sorry, don't take it the wrong way.
うちの夫に
I was just a little exasperated by my husband. Apparently, Rosa hadn't been able to keep up with that on-the-surface friendliness. They'd come here to fight bloodily and dirtily, each trying to grab a part of the inheritance for themselves. She probably didn't like suddenly pretending they were all chummy. Or perhaps she was still a little too immature for that.
だいぶ風が出てきて
It
いるんです
looks like the
ね
wind started blowing hard out there.
枝葉があんなに
The plants are all shaking so much.
もう台風が
The
近くなってきて
typhoon's probably gotten close already.
今夜あたりからは
I wonder if we'll see a lot of rain tonight.
マリアちゃん、この1年で
Arya really has grown a lot this past year.
そう思い
Does it
ます
look that way?
未だに自分のお洋
She
服
still
を
can't even
手向
fold her
け
own
させています
clothing yet. She needs to listen to that J. Cole song.
え
No, it's
え
true.
こんなにも愛情
It's because she has such an affectionate mother.
心の豊かな子に
She'll grow into a girl with a rich heart. She was like, fuck. Just hearing that made her think about how much of a piece of shit mother she is. Rosa fell silent. Maybe she was unsure as to what Kyrie meant by that.
私なんて
I'm
母親失格ですよ
a failure as a mother.
生まれる
Children
女
don't get to choose their parents.
あの子がかわいそう
That
で
poor girl.
お互い様じゃないですか
Doesn't that go both
親
ways?
だって生まれ
A
る子
parent can't choose what kind of child they have either. Rosa bit her lower lip.
どちらが悪いとかじゃ
This isn't a matter of assigning blame.
一緒に生きていくんだ
Isn't it enough that you take your time and watch over her as she grows, conscious of the fact that you'll be living together?
ローザさんは毎
You
日
spend every day with Maria, so you
小
probably don't
さな
notice the
変
small
化と一年ぶ
changes.
りに再会した
But the
私
rest
た
of
ち
us
は
who haven't seen her for a year can clearly see how much she's grown. If you really mean that, thank you very
本当に言
much.
ってくれてるならありがとうございますそれでは失礼いたします
Shut up for a second. Shannon bowed politely and left the room. As Hideyoshi and Rudolph, who had a soft spot for women, watched her go, the atmosphere in the room began to revert back to what it had been right before Shannon's visit.
お父様がいらっしゃられない
If father can't come down, well, that does still leave us with certain things we can discuss. Right, Rudolph?
ああ
Yeah, that's right.
俺たちははるばるここ
We didn't come all the way out here just to drink some dusty tea, right?
わ
Damn!
けじゃねえぜ
Asshole! Why are you insulting the tea? Somebody made that for you.
よかろう。
Very well.
一秒を争って
What does this matter you're clearly so eager to discuss?
やれや
My,
れ
my.
たくましい人たちね。
Those people really are determined.
早速始めたわ。
It certainly got started quick.
私も加わらないといけない
I need to join in
こ
too.
の人たち
If I don't assert myself, those people will quickly forget that there are 4 siblings.
忘れるから
あなたも大変ね。
Sounds like you've got it pretty tough
ちょっ
yourself.
と言葉を選ばなかった。
Maybe I spoke too harshly.
ごめんなさい。
Forgive me.
気にしてません
I want to turn the voices back up a bit.
酒は我が友
I think that's good. No, I don't mind.
こちらこそ
I'm the one who should be
私
apologizing.
たち互いに
As a pair of mothers with daughters, we should talk more often.
いつも会えば
Every single time we meet, we end up talking about something shady. A pair of mothers with daughters. Kyrie has a daughter. Battler has a little sister. Or an older sister, one of the two. Who the hell is that? We haven't seen her. Every single time we meet, we end up talking about something shady.
この屋敷の空気のせいよ。
You can blame the atmosphere in this mansion for
こ
that.
この空気を嗅ぐと。
Once you breathe in this air,
いつも
everyone gets so
私たちはロー
strange.
ザさんとは
Just once, I'd like to have a nice long cup of tea with you when we aren't attending a family
銀
conference.
座に行きつけの素敵な喫茶
There's
店
a
があるの
wonderful coffee shop in Ginza that's a favorite of mine.
ぜひ今度招待させて
Please, let me invite you sometime soon.
ありがとう
Thank you, Kyrie.
その時は
That sounds great. This family is just like a family from hell. Oh no.
急に空が暗くなって
Skies gotten dark pretty
まる
fast.
でこの部屋の人
I could almost believe the people in this room made the weather worse.
もうゴロゴロなってる
There's already thunder.
あ
Oh,
らぽつりと来たかしら
was that one there? There really were small splashes of rain on the glass of the parlor window. The weather seemed to have worsened faster than I remember this. This is when she had to run out for Maria. Seemed to have worsened faster than expected. Just then, a slight thunderbolt struck inside Rosa's head, and she remembered that her beloved child was out in the rose garden. A normal girl would try to go inside if the weather got bad, but Maria was different. She would sometimes get stubborn and refuse to move if rain or even spears fell from the sky. That's right, I told that child to just stay there doing that forever, didn't I?
いけないマリア
Everyone looked back at Rosa when she let out a small scream.
なんだ
What? What is it?
だね
ごめんなさい
I'm sorry. I'm going outside for a second.
すぐ戻ります
I'll be right back.
なんだなんだ
What the? Seriously, what's going on with her?
いいじゃない
Don't worry, she'll be back soon.
それより始めたら
More importantly, shouldn't we begin?
私たちの
Our
本
main
題
topic?
そうね
That's right.
ローザ抜きでも進
We
め
can
られ
keep
る
talking
話
about that without Rosa.
話を戻しましょう
Let's return to our discussion. Rosa dashed from the entrance hall into the rose garden. When she opened the door, the wind that hit her was too strong to be called a light breeze, and told her that the typhoon was approaching faster than she thought. Just as Kyrie had said, the wind was mixed in with small droplets of rain. There was also a low rumble of thunder. It could start raining any time. Rosa headed for the rose garden. She headed for the place where she had scolded Maria a short while ago. It was almost lunchtime. The children had been told to come to the mansion around lunchtime, so they were probably in the guest house waiting to be called. Even if Maria didn't come to them, they would surely think I took her to the mansion with me and wouldn't worry much. After all, she had been with her mother, so there should have been no reason to worry. I was here and I abandoned my daughter to the worsening weather. Are you there? If you're there, answer me! I was right. She was still standing stock still, exactly the same way she had been, in the place where I'd scolded her. Held in her hand was the candy that I'd bought, given her, and then stomped on and crushed. With that gripped in her hand, she stood there as the powerful winds whipped her hair about, tormenting her. I'm sorry.
ごめんなさい
I'm so sorry.
ごめんね
Sorry, Maria. Forgive Mama.
ママおかえりマリアママ
I waited a long time for you to come back.
怖い魔女に
The scary witch pinched me, but I stayed strong,
ママが
waiting for Mama to come back without
私を
crying.
待ってたマリアママを許してママを許してママは悪くないの
You didn't do anything wrong.
また悪い魔女に
You were just possessed by a bad witch again.
だから平気
So I'm fine.
ママ大好き
I really like you, Mama.
愛してる
I love you. I wouldn't be able to live with myself, genuinely. I don't care how much stress I'm under. If I did some shit like that to like my daughter or my son or whatever the fuck, and that's how they responded to me, I genuinely like might kill myself. Like, cause that's just so fucked. Like, how do you go to bed with that in your mind? You know? Like with that movie playing in your mind, how do you actually fall asleep?
ごめんなさいごめんなさい悪い魔女に負けたママを
I'm sorry. Some of the like more like, you know, just kind of uncomfortable dialogues and shit, I really don't want to read it. It makes me feel like bad. Especially the shit with Rosa and Maria. I really don't be wanting to read it. It just makes me feel bad.
許して
Please forgive your mama for losing to the bad witch. Rosa buried her face in Maria's small chest, crying and begging forgiveness. And once again, those tears dripped down after who knows how many times. If only the brilliant sun had been shining on the two of them, all their cares would have evaporated, and it might have felt like they could begin anew. However, what surrounded the two of them was the worsening weather. Sadly, there was only fierce winds and occasional thunder. The sound of Maria sniffling brought Rosa to her senses. If Maria stood exposed to the wind for too long, she'd probably catch a cold. Okay, Maria.
もうすぐお昼
It's almost time for
マ
lunch.
マと一緒にお屋敷
Why do you come back to the mansion with me?
うん行かない
Won't go. Ooh,
どうして
why not? Rosa thought she'd already received Maria's forgiveness, so she hadn't imagined Maria would refuse. But that expression on Maria's face didn't look like that of a child resisting her mother. So Rosa couldn't understand why Maria wanted to stand still, pointlessly as the weather grew even worse. Maria answered that question.
ベアトリーチェがね
It's Beatrice.
もうすぐ来る
She'll be here really
の
soon.
だから待ってる
So I'm waiting.
マリア
Rosa struggled to find words for a moment and fell silent. They'd only just managed to make up after all. She's like, fuck! I just apologized for slapping the shit out of my daughter. I can't do it again. Not this quickly. She chose her words carefully, trying to get Maria to come with her to the mansion without denying the witch outright. She's really thinking about it.
ベアトリーチェが
Beatrice is coming.
そう
Really?
なら
Then instead of waiting here, why don't we wait in the mansion?
いつまでもこんな
If you stay in this wind too long, you'll catch a cold.
来る
She'll come.
ベアトリーチェは来る
Beatrice will come.
そしたらね
And when she does, I'll give her candy.
トリックアトリート
I'll do trick or treat.
ジャコーラ
I'll give her a jack-o'-lantern marshmallow candy and say, Happy Halloween. Maria pulled yet another sweet out of her handbag, moaning, ugh! Rosa was bewildered and didn't know what to do, as Maria started being difficult again. At that time, there was a sudden blast of thunder. It was probably a sign that this island had been sealed off by the storm, detached from common sense and reality. So after this moment, all common sense would probably cease to apply. The wind blew even stronger, and amidst that blizzard of scattered rose petals, a figure appeared, leaving Rosa unable to imagine that this was a scene from reality. It was probably, no, definitely fantastical. After all, that shadow of a person was. Is that my girl? Damn, she spit it up! I see you! Hold on, this is new, isn't it? I don't recall hearing this. Hold on, let it play. Alright. Maria dashed over to the shadow. Normally, Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to someone whom she hadn't seen before and didn't know. But Rosa forgot to do that. Was unable to do anything but stand there stunned. It's been quite some time. Have you been well? I've been well. Witches don't catch colds. Indeed, a witch can use curses to make people catch colds. But how foolish would it be if she caught one herself? From now on, you should take care not to catch something like a cold yourself. She patted Maria's head as she sat there, smiling roguishly. Rosa couldn't have known the name of the woman who was happily spoiling Maria. However, Maria had called it out in the beginning when the woman appeared. So even though Rosa had never met her, even though the woman still hadn't introduced herself, Rosa was able to know her name. However, that name held a special meaning on Rakenjima and in the Ushiramiya family. There was no way something that stupid could be. Look what we bought! I'll give you one too, Beatrice! Indeed. Oh? Is this for me? How truly adorable. That a candy would be made out of this. The lonely light of a man lost in the darkness of purgatory, unable to go to heaven or hell. Right now on this island that has been cut off from both the world of humans and the world of non-humans, there may be no more suitable sweet. Maria, what's wrong with that one? The witch noticed the sweet Maria was grasping. It was Maria's candy which had been stomped on by Rosa until it reached this pitiful state. Got stepped on and smashed. Can you fix it, Beato? Maria didn't go as far as to say it was her mother who stepped on it. However, for some reason, when the witch saw that candy, she looked at Rosa and grinned. A chill went down Rosa's spine, as though this gaze was staring straight through her. It shall be easy. Fuck. I'm sorry, I quickly regretted that. Putting the music up. That song was going hard though. It was just kind of hard to focus when the song is just banging like that. Give it to me. Maria held out the candy gleefully. Rosa could do nothing but watch, stunned. How did this person plan to trick Maria, somehow undoing the fact that the candy had been pitifully trampled? Maria looked as though she believed it could be fixed good as new. Without real magic, there was no way such a thing could be possible. My mind is quite crushed, isn't it? Come, Maria. Close your eyes and try to remember. Because it really was that wonderful a candy. The candy of your memories is always full and fluffy. So you try to remember as well. What kind of candy was it really? Along with those strange words, spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into the air. Maria was closing her eyes and remembering, just as the witch had told her to. What shape had that crushed candy really had? Therefore, only Rosa saw that scene. The sweet that had been thrown in the air burst into a gold color. No, that wasn't it. Those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies, and they began to gather at the witch's hand, which was held up to the sky. And as she did this, unbelievably, It returned to its beautiful original form, no different from when it had been bought. Only Rosa and the witch witnessed that scene. Unable to comprehend what was occurring right before her eyes, Rosa stood with her mouth hanging open, completely forgetting to shut it. You may now open your eyes. Take it. With this, your sweet has been returned to normal. Beatrice is always incredible, incredible! There was a stark contrast between Rosa's shock and Maria's innocent joy. Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, one different from the smile she'd shown Maria. Does my face seem familiar? If you stare so fixedly, you might burn a hole through it. Those words triggered something very clearly in Rosa's mind. Rosa knew this face. She knew it from the portrait of the witch. But no, wait, could this mystery woman really be? I give you this in exchange for the sweet you gave me. It's the fucking letter. A letter? The witch pulled a western envelope from her pocket and gave it to Maria. However, when Maria made to open it, the witch stopped her. You must not. The time will soon come for you to open it. But until then, you absolutely must not. Take good care of it. That will be your invitation to the Golden Land. The Golden Land! So you'll finally take me there. Take it and treat it with care. You must not show it to anyone. I'll keep that promise. You've always got to keep promises with witches. And this is for you. Me? She probably hadn't imagined that the witch would speak to her too. Rosa was bewildered by the second western envelope, which was thrust before her. She's seen this type of envelope before. There could be no mistake. It was one of Kenzo's special envelopes, used when he wrote with his own hand and bearing the Ushiramiya family crest. It was sealed with red sealing wax, and furthermore it had a mark that seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, even without asking what was inside the letter, Rosa knew that this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough to be placed in charge of a personal letter of the current Ushiramiya head. It could have been any of the four siblings. However, the fact that I have met you here probably means you were chosen by Kenzo's roulette. So take it. Then read its contents aloud while seated at the dinner table, when all the siblings are gathered. What did you say? Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope that had been handed to her. Today was a family conference, and the biggest object of discussion would be the inheritance problem. So she had joined together with Ava and Rudolph, and they planned to force a certain condition on Kraus to try and extort several 100 million yen in cash out of him. It was as if the witch could see through all of that. What does she intend to announce when all of her siblings are gathered? Isn't this different from episode 1? In episode 1, Maria read the note, that was all that. And I feel like this scene right here is also different. I don't remember if Maria had refused to leave in episode 1 like she did here. But in episode 1, when they read the table, Maria was the only one who had a letter, and I believe Rosa was also acting as if she didn't know anything about Beatrice in the letter. But if it really is supposed to be the same shit, that would kind of contradict, because in this one, she's met and spoken with Beatrice. She's practically gotten confirmation that Beatrice is a witch, and she's been given an official letter to read at the family conference. So she would have had to read her letter before or after Maria read hers. It was as if the witch could see through all of that. What does she intend to announce when all of her siblings are gathered? And with a personal envelope that no one but the Ushiramiya head can use. Maria,
天気が崩れ
the
る
weather's getting
ゲ
worse.
ストハウスへ戻る
Return to the guest house and wait for lunchtime.
それでは
And Rosa,
後
we will meet again later.
その席である
Allow me to introduce myself again at that time. The witch turned her back to her laughing, and she began to head towards the mansion with an air of composure. Maria energetically called out and watched her go, then began to dash towards the guest house, leaving Rosa behind, as though she wanted to inform their other cousins of her fortunate meeting with the witch as soon as she could. At last, Rosa was left alone in the rose garden as the winds grew stronger, unable to do anything but pray that what had happened was just a daydream. Is the glass gonna crack? Or is it's not done yet? Okay. Damn, she's just walking in their damn crib. Oh, wait! Is this when Battler was in the kitchen and they were like... No, everything had already started by then. I'm pretty sure. When the witch reached the entrance hall, Genji could be seen there. Genji welcomed the guest approaching from the entrance hall with a respectful bow.
お待ちいたしており
I have been waiting.
ベアトリーチェさん
久しぶりだ
It's been quite some time, Genji.
大分ではな
You've gotten old.
どれほどにおい
No matter how old it becomes, furniture carries out its work like furniture until the end.
最後まで
あれの妻の
I remember how that man's wife used to be jealous of you.
金蔵は元気
Is Kenzo doing well?
大変お元
He
気
is doing extremely well. The witch probably laughed because she knew Kenzo's own doctor had announced that Kenzo didn't have long left to live. However, if anyone actually looked at Kenzo and noticed his vigor, which wasn't at all what you'd expect from someone nearing the end of his own life, they might easily call that doing extremely well. Maybe that's what the witch was laughing at.
挨拶に行こうでは
Then let us go and greet him.
30年
I look forward to hurling curses at each other after 30 years. As the witch grinned, she started walking, leaving Genji behind. Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her in the manner of one who served her. At that time, Kyrie came out of the parlor. She'd probably gone out to fix her makeup or something. And when she saw Genji following a witch, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. A guest for Kenzo had arrived, despite him being almost dead, on the day of the family conference when the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. And furthermore, this person was familiar enough with the Ushiramiya family household that Genji was following behind her. Kyrie immediately realized that this person she had never met before was deeply important. Kyrie and the witch's eyes met. Realizing that it would be rude to pretend not to notice, she greeted the witch.
はじめまして
It's a pleasure to meet you.
ルドルフの5歳
You were Rudolph's second wife, yes?
さようでございます
Correct.
ルドルフ様
This is Kyrie,
あなた様である
Rudolph's current wife.
キリエ様でございます
From this exchange, Kyrie realized that this was a guest of fairly high rank, even amongst the Ushiramiya family. And the fact that this was a guest on that level, coupled with her resemblance to the portrait in the entrance hall, made Kyrie's eyes instantly open wide. That's so tough.
はじめまして
Pleased to meet you.
キリエと申し
I'm
ます
Kyrie.
初対面でしょ
I wonder if this is our first meeting.
もし以前に挨拶
If we have met before, I apologize for forgetting your name.
申し訳ございませんうすうすは想像がついてい
So you intend to force me to state my name even though you already have a vague idea of the answer? Kyrie thought she'd given a sociable and humble greeting. Her expression grew slightly cloudy at that openly oppressive response. At any rate, this didn't seem to be a person she could grow to like. But if Kyrie's guesses were correct, this witch probably held a vital key to what her own husband was most interested in. Something that couldn't help but influence tonight's family conference. So without shooting back a retort, Kyrie silently watched her go up the stairs to the second floor with Genji following behind. So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked. It was Natsuhi.
キリエさん、このようなところに立ち尽く
Why are you
し
standing still in a place
て
like
いかがな
this?
さいましたか？
Are you not feeling well?
ごめんなさい。
I'm
ちょ
sorry.
っと魔女
I
の
was just
顔を
fascinated by the
見て
portrait of the
いただけ
witch
です
for a
か？
bit.
黄金の魔女。
Oh, you mean the golden witch Beatrice?
今日の後ろ
The
宮
one
家
whose gold was supposedly necessary for the revived Ushiramiya family we see
なしと
today.
お父様らしい
Quite a
幻想
fantastical
的なお
story.
話ですね。
Just what one would expect from father. Natsuhi spoke in a perfectly ordinary way. It was a sort of comment you'd expect from someone convinced that the thought of a witch existing was ridiculous, no more than another of Kenzo's ramblings. However, for some reason, that point of view didn't seem quite right to Kyrie now. Just a moment ago, she herself had seen the golden witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs. So Natsuhi's words made it feel as though someone was trying to deny the existence of that person, or else make it seem like she was never there to begin with.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
少し頭痛が
Maybe I'm getting a bit of a headache.
ちょっと休もうと思
I
います
think I'll rest for a little while.
あら、そうですか。
Oh, is that so?
なら、良い頭痛
Then
薬
I have some good
があり
headache
ます用意
medicine.
させましょ
I'll
う
get it for you. The hallway in front of Kenzo's study was filled with the scent of sweet liquor, sweet poison, peculiar to that green liquor. Genji, who was completely used to it, did not grimace, and the golden witch didn't grimace either.
この中からどれ
How long has he been in there since he last left?
すでに数
I
年
believe it
に
has
なる
already been several years.
それほど
Is he that desperate to turn me into a bird in a cage? How pitiful.
それを願うそ
By
の
now, you're the bird in the cage.
書斎の亡霊
You're
で
the
は
ghost of this study, are you not?
それに気づけぬ
How
と
pitiful he is unable to recognize even that.
あなた様と再び
Until he
お会い
meets
す
you
る
again, he will probably continue his research, even after literally becoming a
亡霊となっ
ghost.
ても
Do furniture tell jokes?
しか申しゅ
Is it love or madness or a delusion?
それも講じ
And
れ
yet
ば
perhaps even those can form magical power when strong enough.
悲しき魔
You
術
sad magician. The witch grasped a doorknob to the study. When she did that, there was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand.
ベアトリーチェ様
なんだこれ
What is this?
魔
A
よけ
ward against magic?
はやつめ
Is that person unable to get by without relying on something like this?
おのが
その扉は
I have heard that this
ベ
door
アト
would
リー
cause
チ
you
ェ
great
様
pain,
にはお辛いもの
Beatrice.
と私
Shall
が
I open it?
お分けいたしましょう
いや
No, it is fine.
あやつが勝てば
If he wins, I will be a bird in a cage for all
あ
eternity.
やつが負ければ
If he loses, only the life of a laughing stock will be
全てを
left.
失った
The life of a pitiful magician who went mad with love and lost everything. Already, Kenzo and even I are nothing more than pieces laid out on the board game.
あとは
In the game board.
ルーレットの目
All
が
that is left is for the
勝敗を
roulette to
分けるだけ
decide who wins and who
ル
loses.
ーレットが目を見
Until the roulette shows its results, there is no need for me and Kenzo to meet
す
again.
る必要はない
The witch looked at her hand, which was beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly burned.
あるいは
Or perhaps that is why he has this ward here in the first place.
なる
Yes,
ほど
perhaps even that is
そ
honorable in
れ
its
も
own way.
全ては今や
By now, everything sits on top of Kenzo's game board.
気に入った
I like it, Kenzo.
そなたとの
Allow me
ゲーム
to enjoy my game with
他の
you.
バラワに恋
Allow me to enjoy the failure of the final
投げ
gamble.
出したロ
of an old magician who fell in love with me and threw away his entire life.
散りざまを楽しませてもらうぞ。
Normally it fades to black before the glass cracks. So that caught me a bit off guard. Mysterious visitor and 19th person who appeared on the day of the family conference. She goes by the same name as the Golden Witch, who gave the gold to Kenzo. Her reasonings for visiting are unknown. She was ushered into the VIP room, which no one has been allowed to use in the past. Alright. Well, that's the end of the episode. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I read them all. Tap into the next one. Alright. I've got some things to write down. I hope I can remember it all once I stop recording. But I have some shit to write. Because we didn't get a lot. No, we got a fucking pretty damn good amount. But I am confused a bit with these contradictions. They might not be contradictions. I might just be remembering shit wrong. But as far as my memory goes, there are a few contradictions in this chapter. So I'm confused. But peace out. I love y'all. Hope y'all been enjoying.